Hey everyone, Mr. Montgomery again. Today we are on page 297, and that is lesson 7-4. So if you're not on this page yet, get your Robot Turtle book out, get on that page, then hit play. Otherwise, you better have this video paused until this page is open. But if it's still rolling, then I'm guessing you guys are all set to go, and you're ready to get started. So before we get going, you're going to need some crayons. So go ahead and get about 3 or 4 crayons out, and we're going to have a little fun using some colors on our 100 chart here. Alright, so one of the colors they want us to use is yellow, and they want us to get red, and make sure we have a blue. So those are the 3 colors that they want us to use for this activity to start us off, to introduce us to what we're going to be doing today. So again, if you need to pause the video, do it. Get those crayons. Okay, so the first part says, color the numbers you count yellow. But we're going to be starting at 10. Let me get my yellow out. Okay, it's not going to be the easiest to see, but I'm going to try my best here. It says you're going to count by tens, right? Count by tens starting at 10. All right, so first we got to find the 10. Where is 10 on our 100 chart? Well, you can start just by going to the top and going all the way across till you see 10, and you'll see it's the very last number. And you just give it a very, very light scribble. So as we count, we're going to color each number yellow as we count by 10. So after 10, what's the next number if we count by tens? It's 20. So go ahead, color in that 20. After 20, what's the next number counted by tens? It's 30. Okay, color that in. Okay, what's next after that? 40. After that, we have 50. All right, go ahead and do the rest on your own, and then I will complete it and make sure that you have the same thing colored in. You should already see what's happening right here in this column. Oh, that is hard to see yellow, isn't it? You should already see what's happening right here in this column. Okay, but go ahead and complete that on your own. All right, did you finish? Okay, so after you're done counting by tens and coloring in every number that you've counted by 10, starting from 10, it should look something like this. You colored in the 60, then the 70, then the 80, the 90, the 100, then 110, and 120. Do you notice a little pattern going on here on this 100 chart? I know I do. You can see that when we count by tens, we just go straight down a column. Now when we go from top to bottom, we call this a column. And then when we go from side to side, we call this a row. So whenever we count by tens, whether we're going backwards or forwards, we go down the entire column. And you can do this with any number you want, and you will count by tens. All right, but I'll go back into that in just a little bit. Okay, next it says count by ones starting at 102. And draw a red square around the numbers. Okay, so first we gotta find 102. So what I always do is I start at this first column right here. Alright? And I am going to keep going down until I hit 100. Getting close because we're at 90. And we're at 101. But they want us to start at 102. So we have to go 1 over. And we're going to make a little red square around that number. So do the best you can with your crayons. I know it can be tricky. Do your best. But now, count by ones about 9 times. I want you to count by ones, drawing a square around each number. So I'll do one with you. So 1 more than 102 is 103. So I'm going to put a square around it. 1 more than 103 is 104. I'm just counting by ones. And we know I'm counting by ones because it's just getting bigger by one each time. Go ahead and finish that entire row.
White over here.
All right, so your 100 chart should look something a little like this now. Okay, this is what your 100 chart should look like right now. So from 102 all the way to 110, we drew red squares around each number. All right, and we have one more part to do. Oh, so and then all this does is just really reinforce that when we go down a column, we are counting by tens. When we go across the row, it doesn't matter which way we go. We can go from left to right or right to left. We are getting bigger by one. Okay, and we're going to do a cool little practice thing where we're done all this coloring. Okay, let's see. Next, we need our blue. We're going to draw a blue circle around some numbers. So get your blue crayon. So what we're going to do here is we are going to start at 34. Well, how do we find 34? Well, we're going to start this first column and keep going until we see a 3 in the tens place. Oh, here's a 3 in the tens place right here. And we just go over until we have a 4 in the ones. And right here, we have a 4 in the ones place. 34. So you go ahead and draw a circle around that. Now, they want us to count by tens and draw a circle around each number. So if I'm going to go 10 more than 34, it's 44. I just go down one on the column. So every time I go down one, that is plus 10. Just think of it as plus 10 if you want. But let's say I'm down at 90 and I go up one. That's like saying minus 10. All right, so we can go either way on this 100 chart, going up or down, counted by tens. But when we jump down, going towards this 120 at the bottom here, we are getting bigger by 10. When we go up towards the 10, then we get smaller by 10. All right, so let's go back to our 34 here. 34, then 44. What's 10 more than that? 54. We're just going down one more. So go ahead and finish that entire column right there. All right, so now your 100 chart should look something a little like this, because we were counting by tens: 34, 44, 54, 64, 74. And when we do this, the only number that's changing is the tens place. That is the big pattern that's happening when we count by tens. The only time it gets really tricky is when you hit the hundreds, because then you have another place value coming into play. So if you look at this column, as we go down, this 4 never changes. The only thing that changes is the tens place. So it goes from 4 to 14 because you're adding 10. And then 10 more than that is 24. The tens place got bigger by one more. That's it. This 4 stays the same going down the entire column. If you look back at that first column we did, starting with 10, the 0 never changed. There's no ones at all in this column. The only thing that changed was the 10. So it goes from 10, right? You have a 1 in the tens place, to having a 2 in the tens place, then a 3, and then a 4, and then a 5. And it just keeps going. I'm not trying to sound like a broken record here, guys. I swear. My friends in the classroom, you guys know I say stuff all day long. And before we go into our next little part, just remember we're getting bigger and smaller by ones when we go across. So if we are going, Oh, hold on. Let me get my eraser out. Okay, I just need a little bit more space here. So, let's say we're starting at 5. Now, you don't have to draw this at all, but let's say we're going to start at 5 here, okay? Now, when I go back this way, this is like saying -1, right? Where it's kind of like jumping backwards on a number line. But if I go this way on the 100 chart, this is like saying +1, okay? It's like adding on a number line. The only time this gets tricky is when you hit the end. Let's say we're starting at 10 here, and we need one more. Well, you drop down and start at the beginning, and you would have 11. Okay? So whenever you get to the end, you just drop down, start at the beginning again. Go to the end, drop down, start at the beginning again. That's it. Just remember that when you go forward, it's +1, backwards is -1. And when you go down a column, as you go down, it's +10. As you go up, it's -10. Now, one thing we will be practicing, and you know what? I think we're going to just practice it now. Yeah, we're going to be crazy. We're going to be crazy. You guys might enjoy this, though. Go ahead, draw a little square in your paper right there. And then below that, draw another square. And then below that, that's right, another square. Okay, now stop. And I want you to go on this side over here to the right. And we're going to draw a square over here. And now I want you to go to the left and draw another square over here, all around this center square. So it looks like a big plus sign. So we're going to be working with stuff like this very soon. So I should just introduce you guys to it now. This is pretty cool because we're already talking about +10, -10, +1, -1. So think of this as a section of our 100 chart. And let's use the number 78. So you can go ahead and draw this in your book too, wherever you have space, and put the number 78 in the middle. Now, we're going to see if we can figure out what is 10 more than 78, or when I have something like this, I like to put the +10 at the bottom, and then, oh, you know, I got to erase that, because that's just getting in my way. There we go. Much better. And then up top is going to be -10. And then over here is +1. And over here, -1. I want you to tell me all the numbers that surround the number 78. I want to know what 10 less than 78 is. I want to know what 10 more than 78 is. One more and one less. Go ahead and just give this a whirl. I know I'm kind of throwing it at you, but you know, there's no time like the present. Start learning new stuff. Let's do it. Alright, if you're still working, pause the video, but I feel like you guys are just going to blast right through this. So, what you do is you just find 70 on the 100 chart. And it's right here. Circle in red. So for 10 less, I just look up one. And I see 68. So 10 less than 78 is 68. Now I need 10 more. I just put my pencil on 78 and go down one. I have 88. Okay, and then of course, if I want one more, I go over to the right one, I get 79. And if I want one less, I point to 78, and I go backwards one, I get 77. So we're going to be doing stuff like this very, very soon. So it doesn't hurt to get familiar with it now. But I feel like we've covered everything that we're going to ever need for this lesson. So let's go to the next page. Go to page 298. Alright, here's page 298. Now, number one, I know they kind of did for you, but I always like to walk through it. They tell us what they want us to do right above the numbers. It says count by ones. And if ever you're not too sure what the next number is, there is a nice big, okay, it's not big, it's a small, very small 120 chart up here at the top of your page. Feel free to use it. If you're in my classroom and you're watching this, you have a huge 100 chart on the back wall. made out of Mario coins. So there's no excuse for not having a 100 chart today. Okay, so when it says count by ones for number 1, we have 112, 113. Remember, when we count by ones, the only thing that's changing is the ones place. So after 114, we have 115. Then 116, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120. All right. Number 2, you're going to try on your own. Use the 100 chart up here to help you. Especially if you're having any kind of trouble with this. Don't feel like it's, a bad thing to use the 100 chart. It's there to help you. Use it. All right. So for number 2, it says count by tens. And they start you off with 22. It says 22, 32, 42. Go ahead and finish the rest of the line, or all the numbers in sequence. Alright, if you're not done, pause the video and take your time. If you are done, let's go over it. So again, since we're counting by tens, the only number that's changing is the tens place. So this 2 goes to a 3. The 3 turns into a 4. And the 2 in the ones place is never going to change. So 22, 32, 42. After 4, we have 5. So it's not 52, but 52. After 5, we have 6. So it's 62. After 6, we have 7. It's 72. After 7, we have 8, which makes 82. After that, we have 9, which makes 92. And then comes the tricky one. After 92, it actually, just think about it this way. What's 1 more than 9? 1 more than 9 is 10. But you can't put a 10 in the tens place. You need to move over that 1. So it turns into 100's place right here. So it turns into 102. All right. Next, let's try number 3. Counting by ones, starting from 90. So you have 90, 91, 92. If you need help, use the 100 chart up here. Okay. Go ahead, give that a shot. But I think count by ones is super, super easy for you guys. Alright, if you're not done, pause the video, take your time. If you are done, let's go over it. Now remember, when we count by ones, the only spot that's changing is the ones place. So that 0 turns into a 1, and then the 1 turns into a 2, and that 9 is staying the same the whole time, unless we hit 100, right? So 90, 91, 92, 1 more than that is 93, then 1 more than that is 94, right? Remember, that 3 just turned into a 4. That's it. 1 more than that is 95. That 4 just turned into a 5. After that, you have 96. And then 1 more 96 is 97. And 1 more of that is 98. So you guys can see the only thing that changes is the ones place when you count by ones. Unless you hit a brand new 10 or you hit all the way to 100. Alright. Let's go to the next page, 299. Alright guys, so here's page 299. I feel like this is pretty easy stuff. You guys should be able to do this completely on your own. But if you're super confused, let me know. I'll sit with you in front of the classroom and go through this a little slower. But I feel like you guys are going to get it pretty quick. So I want you to do number 4, 5, 6, and 7 completely on your own. When you're done this, I want you to go on IXL, and there will be a few more challenging problems. Just keep in mind, on the IXL assignment, when you go up, that is like saying minus 10. And then when you go down a column, or this is just the column, when you go down, that's like saying plus 10. Alright? And then when you go to the right one, that is like saying plus 1. And when you go backwards, that's the same as saying minus 1. That's all the help you're going to need to do awesome on the IXL assignment for after this, okay? But if you're not in my classroom and you're watching this video, make sure you let your teacher know that the video is over, just in case he or she would like you to do something different. But besides that, that's it for the video. Like I said, if you're having trouble, just let me know. But I hope this helped. I hope you guys are doing awesome, and I'll see you later. So, have a great day.